Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? How have you been? I'm so glad to tune in with you today. I've missed you all so very much. I must apologize for being quiet and not doing many readings. I'm an essential worker and I've been doing extra hours at the grocery store where I work. Today I'm taking time to do what I love most in the world, and that is doing some readings for us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. I want to let everyone know I'm keeping you in my prayers and in my meditations for love, harmony, and peace. And I know this is challenging time, so this is a pick a deck reading for people who are in separation and no communication. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a free flow reading. I will make a list of all the decks that I'll be using. So while I'm chatting away, introducing this reading, please tune into the various decks that you are drawn to. This is my very first Rider-Waite deck that I ever bought back in South Africa, 2003. This is the Golden Tarot by Cat Black, the Witch's Tarot, and of course the Tarot Grand Lux by Caro Marchetti. My name is Ahorangi Starchild and I am New Zealand based, and I know that the current times has been very challenging and some of us have been spending quite a bit of time in separation. So pick a deck and I will draw extra decks as I'm led to do with each and every individual reading. And please give me feedback. Like if you like, subscribe if you like my style. And everything you need to know about me is in the Dropbox below. My channel is donation based. Below this video there is a link for donation. I don't give you half readings. I put it all out there for everyone to enjoy. So thank you very much for valuing me and my time. Let's jump in and start and see what is going on. Separation can be such a hard situation to deal with, psychologically and emotionally. Okay, so deck number one. And what I'm led to do is I want to draw some magical messages from your fairies by Doreen Virtue for this deck. And there'll also be timestamps below, okay? Timestamps below for your reading. So let's see with the first group, as I'm tuning in, I feel that you are someone who are very connected to nature. You are connected to the different seasons. You love all the seasons. There's a time you realize that there's a time to work, there's a time to rest, there's a time to have fun, there's a time to carry responsibility, and you see all of this reflected in nature. You're someone who likes to go out, watch nature, springtime, autumn, love all the colors and all the different energies that life brings. Now let's see. Very grounded individual. I feel like the people tuning into this reading are very grounded, but also very spiritual and creative. Spring. Now, did I mention the seasons or what? Now, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're already in springtime. If you're in the southern hemisphere, we're going into autumn now. We're in autumn. So for some of us it's now, for some of us it's 6 months from now. Okay, your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. Even though it says spring there, but remember we are in autumn, and autumn also yields flowers that start to bloom. Okay, and in this image, there's a hibiscus flower and there's a butterfly. Look at the images, because these might be synchronicities for you. Bring some messages for you via synchronicities from your your guides and your angels. So what is going on in your situation with separation? No communication. That's so hard. Very challenging psychologically for sure. And thank you for being patient with me while I'm tuning into this group and shuffling the deck. What's going on? My guys are saying to just do a 6-card draw, which to me is a Celtic cross. What's a Celtic cross? Okay. Oh, I've got to laugh at myself. I am my own entertainment, that's for sure. What's going on with you? Someone is carrying a heavy burden, so I feel like with no communication, not talking, not being able to see each other, not being able to travel is certainly cramping your style. And there might have been a conversation that happened with you in the recent past where maybe you didn't... like you, if there was no communication, the last conversation you had would have been something that was very challenging, very disappointing, very truthful conversation about a brand new fresh start. It could have involved a child, but also for it could be you, it could be your person who basically had the conversation. So, well, I need a brand new fresh start. I need to do something different in this connection. This could be one of your children telling you that I need to strike out on my own. I need to express my own individuality. And I feel like if it is not a child, if it is a romantic connection, that this is kind of like the same conversation, that if they find that the connection is stagnant, that it needs something to freshen it up, something to bring in a new dynamic. And I feel like when your partner or you expressed yourself, or the person that you think of expressed themselves, it was words that had cut to the heart, but they were at the same time expressing their truth, okay? And it might have been a heavy burden to carry for both of you to actually have this conversation. It was like unloading a burden as well, getting things off the chest, clearing the air, so to speak. And I feel like the conversation wasn't something that was stretched out and, dragged out. It was a very short, to the point conversation that happened, and it had brought in a new perspective concerning your connection that you have. And when you look at your relationship, I felt like there's a dynamic in your relationship that had changed. There was a change or a shift in your relationship. But this conversation was very necessary because now in July, you are going to see forward movement. Okay, so things are starting to fall into place. I feel like you and your person are both taking the time to digest about what was being said. And if you're in the northern hemisphere with a spring card, I feel like that is what's happening right now during lockdown. You are taking the time in the separation to digest the information that was being said, and maybe even doing a little bit of soul searching. But I feel like there's a lot of action orientated energy here. You see this as something that you want to work on. This is a relationship that you want to invest yourself in. And you're very open to listen to what your person had to say. You're open to receive what they had to say. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of outgoing energy, wanting to work on this and wanting to move forward. I feel like the heaviest burden for you at the moment is the fact that there might be distance between the two of you, because we do have the Chariot, which to me is this distance. You need to travel to see each other. But I do feel in July there will be a window period where you'll be able to meet, speak, see each other, travel. We have 2 travel cards. There might be more than one trip coming up to see each other face to face. But I do feel like there will be discussion on how to move forward in your connection. how to start over, how to start fresh, how to bring in and renew and rejuvenate the connection you have with each other. But I also feel like there is a sense of curiosity as well as to where this new direction is going to take you. Now, with the Chariot as an outcome, I do feel that there is balance needed in this connection. If something was out of balance, it is important that you work together. Everyone or every person in this connection carrying their responsibility and making their contribution on an individual level. What I always say is a relationship consists of two people. Though each person can guarantee their 50% that they invest in that relationship. You can't guarantee your partner's 50%, and neither can they guarantee your 50, but you each can guarantee your own 50, which give you the 100%. Okay, so it is working out the finer details of how it is you're going to move forward with this connection. I'm going to draw you one more card, and I feel you're going to move forward in creating long-term stability, okay, and visibility in the world. I feel like if you had a conversation with your person and things have gone quiet a little bit now, or you both not reaching out to each other as much as you used to, the silences between conversations is a little bit extended. I do feel like it is because both of you are working out the details on what direction, what new direction it is you want to take in. And I feel once it starts to move forward, once you've had the conversation, meet each other face to face and speak to each other, there is going to be forward movement very fast, especially in the July, Cancer season from 21st June to 21st July. And it's going to take you in a direction where you're going to be more public, visible in the public. In other words, if your relationship has been one where you've just been dating, you might want to meet each other's family. You want to introduce each other to your family. You want to make your connection more visible, and you want to make it more long-term and invest yourself long-term. So you have the outcome here with the 10 of Pentacles and the Chariot. That's beautiful. Forward movement, fast, dynamic, successful, straight from point A to point B, no deviation, and your goal is to make it long-term, solid, okay, with the family, the dogs, the friends, the nana, the grandpa, everyone, and being visible out in the public, in society, and say, yes, we're together and we are an item. So I kind of feel like, in a way, there is this kind of like announcement maybe to say, yes, we are a couple, yes, we are together. If you have been together for quite some time, this is like, let's move in together. Let's put an end to the distance between us. Let's shorten the distance, because we have the Eight of Wands as well as a Chariot here. So I do feel like there might be a lot of traveling to and fro, but eventually the end goal would be to put an end to the traveling and just to be together. Now, please give me feedback on this reading. I'll be very interested to hear what's going on, but I do feel like the conversation that you had concerning heart matters and speaking your truth is actually what your connection needed to be able to move forward. So it looks very positive. Thank you for tuning in. I love reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Remember to hit that like button and to give me feedback on this reading. Okay, so we're going to go for deck number 2. Which is our Golden Tarot by Cat Black. And I'm going to draw us some messages from your fairies to see what the fairies might have to say about this, or the elemental kingdom, so to speak. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, give me feedback on this reading. And thank you for being patient while I'm going through my processes. Travel, yeah, that seems very unlikely at the moment for some of us. Well, some of us will be coming out of lockdown. But what it says is an upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. That's beautiful. So have a look at the image. We have a stag. We have, she's lighting a stag. So I feel like for some of you, there's like, this could be a spiritual connection. And I also feel like distance, physical distance might be something that you have to deal with in your connection, hence this reading. Okay, I haven't seen each other for a while. Maybe I've been speaking to each other, but you haven't been, you know, together physically. So I feel like if you haven't seen each other for a while, that there will be a trip coming up where you would be able to speak to each other, see each other, spend some good quality time together. I also feel like the distance might have enlightened you a lot about your person. Like not spending time with each other kind of brought in a perspective of how you value your person. Okay. Let's see. No communication and separation. So I feel for some of you, you would have been dealing with conflict with a person who has control issues, and that the distance is kind of like making someone regret realizing that they've actually been a bit of a jerk. Okay, they haven't behaved well towards you, and they're having a little bit of a Jesus moment because I feel like your person so just put this where it fit, because remember, this is a general reading. I feel what's happening in your connection is that maybe before lockdown that your person was someone who's very strong. They don't like conflict, but I feel like they also like to have things their way most of the time. So you're dealing with an individual who doesn't like change, who's very kind of like stuck in the mud and very mature. There might be a little bit of an age difference between the two of you, like you might be older or your person might be quite a bit older. And when I say older, this not necessarily in years, but maybe even an attitude in life. Like one is very grown up and stuck in the mud, but a stick in the mud, not prone to change. And this sometimes causes a bit of conflict, because you both do like the same things. I see there's a lot of both crave stability, both crave security and the good things in life, and will do everything to protect what's theirs. But at the same time, there is not a lot of room for negotiation when it comes to being in a relationship with each other. And I feel like one person is very masculine and one person is very feminine. One person is very controlling and the other person is very giving and kind of going with the flow, and I wouldn't say submissive, because I do feel like the person who is more in the flow doesn't necessarily submit. They just know how to play the game, so to speak, you know, how they understand the dynamics. In this connection, I feel like there's quite a deep spiritual understanding between the two of you. Hence, we have this little stag's horns being lit up, and a stag, you know, remember that resembles the masculine. You know, it's very masculine, and we've got this little fairy. Oh, I love this reading. So, riding that stag, she's sitting on him, and she's lighting up that crown chakra. She's the one that's lighting his antlers. So, even though we have a very masculine, very feminine kind of energy here, I feel like there might have been a difference in opinion between the two of you. And I feel like it is a situation where you've decided to agree to disagree. But there's one person who's very argumentative and want to win at all cost. And this person is having a little bit of a Jesus moment because they now realize that they have been a bit of an ass. And they're starting to see your value, and that even though you might sometimes have different points of view, that you do complement each other. And I feel like this is what that introspection is bringing your person that's causing this non-communication or not wanting to talk about the elephant in the room, and that there's maybe a little bit of a distance emotionally between the two of you, or there could be physical distance, but I feel like this is more an emotional distance, and that the thing that you really need to talk about isn't being talked about at this point in time. But because the person who knows and understands the dynamics, which I would say is the feminine principle, this little fairy sitting riding the stag, because of knowing when to speak up, when to keep quiet, how to approach your person and how to handle your person when they become stubborn and controlling, because you understand what that dynamic is, and that you know that by keeping quiet doesn't mean that you're submissive, but that you can also take a stand by not saying anything. And this is making your person realize that they haven't been valuing you. And so you are going into a phase, once the communication picks up, once you are about to go into a brand new cycle of your relationship, which is going to take your relationship to a beautiful, abundant, very accepting, nourishing stage between the two of you. Now, this is whether you in separation. This could be, you just have to put this where it fits. This could be romance. This could be a marriage. This could be a couple who's, kind of just met and trying to feel each other out. Now we have this lockdown thing, and there might have been a little bit of a misunderstanding as well. I feel miscommunication. But there is an apology on the way, because there is a lot of wisdom that is coming in here. Someone with both of you have a very mature attitude, very grounded, very loyal. You don't want to just give up on it because there's been a little bit of a verbal skirmish here. Both have a very mature attitude towards this connection, and I feel like if there is physical distance, that there will be travel to see each other and to reconnect and take your connection to the next level. Or it could be that once lockdown is over, you might actually embark on a journey or a holiday of some kind, just to go out and explore and travel together. And both of those kind of scenarios will bring in this beautiful energy where your connection will change in positive ways. That's a beautiful reading, because you have the Empress as outcome. And that's very nourishing, very caring. It's Venus, Moon, Taurus, and Cancer ruled, okay? And we have the Emperor and the Empress here. So this is a power couple. Together you can achieve a lot. And that means facing obstacles and challenges together, as well as enjoying success and reaping the benefits of your efforts together. So thank you for watching. Please give me feedback. I love reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Light and love. On to the next reading. We have Witch's Tarot, which is number 3. And I'm going to draw some messages from your fairies by Doreen Virtue. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to click that like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe and give me feedback on this reading. So this reading is for people in separation, whether it is romantic, friendship, people who mean a lot to you, whatever it is, we're going to have a look into it. So thank you for being patient with me while I go through my processes. Love life. I would say this is definitely a romantic issue. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Isn't that good news? I do feel like during this lockdown, if you are someone who is spiritually inclined, that this lockdown will bring you many hidden blessings. Okay? So let's shuffle the deck and see what the deck has to say. Now there's some cards flipped over. I've got the deck the wrong way around, it looks like. Okay, we're just going to go with it. This deck's a bit scrambled. So I feel like with this deck being scrambled, I didn't even know that this was the case. That maybe for some of you, you feel like everything's been scrambled with this lockdown. That maybe you had plans, you had visions, things to do, places to go, people to see, and all of that. And now all of a sudden it's been derailed. And it's not what you thought it was. Maybe your love life didn't turn out the way you thought it would. There's a lot of things that didn't turn out the way you thought it would. In the way of the situation with separation and non-communication. I feel like non-communication is something that you never expected to happen. Now I feel I wanted to pull this one out. It's the Ace of Swords, so I do feel there is communication coming for you. Brand new fresh start. And there's a single person here. Oh, definitely brand new fresh start. I feel like this separation, non-communication is kicking this whole new thing in a new direction, and it is bringing new perspectives and truth into this whole situation. I feel like there was a lot of confusion in your connection, which is to do with karmic connections. Maybe there was a lot of options available to either one of you when it comes to your connection. And maybe I feel one person in your connection decided to strike out and go in a different direction. But they'll be back. Okay, they're definitely coming back because they now realize that what they thought was a good option wasn't. Okay, they might have bitten off more than they can chew. So just put that where it fits for you. You have the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. So I do feel like there's a brand new fresh start after. If there is no communication and if there is separation between the two of you, that there's going to be talk about, and this is both of you standing in your truth, having really good judgment skills, really good communication skills, and how you want to express yourself. We have the Four of Wands, so there's a celebration. So this communication could happen around a birthday celebration, a wedding, or some sort of party or a get-together celebrated around the home. And I do feel at the end of lockdown that a lot of people would just want to throw a party because they can, okay? There's a lot of fire around this. So we have the Ace of Wands and we have the Four of Wands, which is the Four of Wands to me is 1111. So I do feel like this could be a very karmic soulmate connection, and that there was a lot of confusion in this connection because we do have the Seven of Cups. I feel like one person in this connection had a lot of options and they might have made a choice in the past which took them in a direction which led them kind of down the garden path. And they're coming back and they're realizing now that whatever it is that they had experienced during the time of separation from you was it was a karmic thing. Sometimes I feel like they didn't really have much of a choice in the matter when actually they did. And they were most probably overwhelmed by choices that they had to make at that point in time. And they most probably just picked the first option that they thought would work. And it kind of backfired on them. And I feel like one person in this connection stayed loyal. You stayed grounded in this. You stayed single. You didn't go out dating, even though your person might have decided to ghost you for some other reason. They would just say, Audi, I'm going on a new adventure. I'll be back. Maybe they even went world traveling, or travel took them away from you, like they wanted to go see different countries. They were very freedom loving and maybe even a little bit immature in the connection, and they had to get that energy out of their system so they can grow up. And I feel like while they were gone, while they were exploring their own world, so to speak, and having experiences, they discovered their own truth, and where the passion truly lies, which I feel is with you. They feel like the single person who's been loyal and very grounded in this connection is the person who's always there for them, who gives them a firm foundation in their life. And they feel like after this period of lockdown that they would want to have a brand new fresh start in truth with you. And this is karmic. I feel like this is someone whom you might have lost connection with. There's no communication. There's no contact. You most probably don't even know what's happening in this person's life. You might just think of them now and then, or have a dream of them. They might come visit you in your dreams. But you'll be hearing news from this person, and suddenly there'll be this brand new, fresh connection, passionate connection that you have in your relationship. So I feel like one of you are, someone is very grounded. We have the Nine of Pentacles, so you might be self-employed, or you are someone who at the moment are reaping the rewards for your career path that you chose, or how you create stability in your life. I feel like for you or your person, there's a house move on the other way as well. And I feel like once you do get together, that there will be a lot of options as to in which direction you want to take this connection, whether you just want to stay friends or deepen your connection in a romantic way. Maybe you liked each other, but you could never get together in a romantic way for whatever reason. Or maybe there was karmic debts that you had to pay off, because we do have the karma card there. There was things of the past that might have cropped up and kept on derailing, the two of you getting together because the time wasn't right. But I do feel with the Seven of Cups, I just want to draw another card because we have a karma. Someone's going to have their defenses up as well. I think someone is going to be wanting to take this slow because they've been burned. And it's going to be just very specific about what you want in this connection. It's like, okay, well, you're back now, and let's see how this is going to work. But I have some terms and conditions because I've worked hard for creating stability in my life without you. And now you are all of a sudden asking me to make room for you in my life when you decided to not take responsibility for our connection. So there will be some conversations, some truthful conversations to be had, but I feel like there's a lot of passion here, and I do feel there's a lot of things that's a lot of options. You can take this slow, you can take it fast, you can take it however way you like it. Both of you are in the driver's seat of how you want to work with this connection once you do get together, and once communication do come up, and I feel like that's very close. If you're in the southern hemisphere, we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords to me is winter time. We are almost there. So winter to me starts from the 21st of May. Okay. Which is Gemini. Okay. And so for northern hemisphere, this is towards the end of the year. When you go into your winter season. But we also have the Ace of Wands, which is a lot of fire, passionate start. And so I do feel like this is an opportunity to really take in a different direction. I also feel like for some of you, if you're not interested in someone from the past coming back, that there is a soulmate connection coming in for you out of nowhere, and you might have your defenses up because of expensive lessons you've learned concerning love in your past. But the universe will present you with a connection that can potentially be very spiritual, very deep, okay, but truthful and very passionate. So thank you for watching. Please give me feedback on this reading. I love reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Light and love. Okay, so number 4. Thank you for tuning in. This is your separation, no communication reading. Please remember to hit that like button if you like, subscribe if you like my style, and leave me comments. I like to hear when people give me feedback. It's like a soundboard. I know that the information will find the people who need to hear these messages. Okay, so I'm just giving it a bit of a shuffle while I'm tuning in. And I'm going to do the magical messages from the fairies by Doreen Virtue to see what's going on in your connection. Okay. Yeah, lockdown's been very hard. It's certainly taken its toll psychologically, emotionally, physically for some of us because we can't go to gym. You know, we had to make some big changes, huge adjustments in our life. Okay, so what's going on in your connection? Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. And so we have a fairy sitting there with dandelions. So dandelions might have a special meaning to you. And butterflies. Dandelions and butterflies. Dandelions I see is also very good for detox. So for some of you, you might be thinking of detox or doing a detox at this point in time. It's very good for the liver function. I feel for some of you who've been on pharmaceuticals, you know, and you're coming off pain medication or something, the dandelion would be, you know, to your benefit if you're detoxing from sugar or caffeine as well. But also remember to make a wish. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's been a lot of confusion. The card does say ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. So I feel like other people around you might be confused, not sure how to nourish you, how to be around you. Maybe you don't know what action to take around your loved one to make them feel valued. Now, we have the Empress and the Emperor in this reading. So I would recommend you watching reading number 2, which had Empress and the Emperor as well, if you feel like doing so. I'm terrible with laying out cards. Okay. There's a lot of passion here. Ooh. And maybe a bit of secrets. Okay. Let's have a look. So I feel what's going on here is that there might be either one of you the reason for non-communication. Now this could be that you are together but you're giving each other the cold shoulder, or you're not talking about the elephant in the room. This could be literally not seeing your person or being with your person, losing contact with them and not knowing what's going on with them or where they are in the world. Especially with that 7 of Cups. So I feel like there is a lot of a feeling of this connection being up in the air, that it's most probably what's the chances of this thing manifesting, what's the chances of us seeing each other. And I feel because you are the type of person who value your relationships, that not being able to see your person or talk to your person makes you feel like there is a lack of nourishment, like you struggle to feel nourished inside yourself. You don't know what it is that you can do for yourself at this point in time to make you feel better, to cope with the separation and this non-communication at this point in time. But what the suggestion here is to allow yourself to envision whatever to create a vision of what it is that you want, because we do have this little card. Once again, I keep on being drawn back to this card, ask for what you want. And that means you have to clearly decide you want to be with this person. Is there maybe someone else? I do feel for some of you might have various options, even though there might be this one person that you feel, would be your choice. But at the end of the day, you've got a second choice, you've got a third choice, you might even have a fourth choice, you lucky devil. Or maybe one of those people that say, well, what are you talking about? I've never even had, I'm just trying to see where my person is. Are they ever going to manifest in my world, okay, in my reality? So what the universe is telling you at this point in time is, if you have a current situation, you're dealing with separation and you don't know how to manifest it, is to do research on how you can manifest what it is that you want, to clearly decide what it is that you want, because you do have these two masculines that you potentially could choose from, especially with that Seven of Cups, something that there are two different, that there's a choice there, you have options. But this could also be that you are choosing one person, and this person, if you're feminine watching, is a very fiery, mature, masculine person with a fire in their chart. Okay, so we have the King of Wands, which is Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So it might have those type of, very strong leadership. A lead by example, action orientated, not a couch potato, likes to take charge. I like it, I see it, I want it. They are very much outgoing, charismatic, and normally hot, 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 very attractive, very difficult to resist. The King of Wands, when he knows he wants it. And then we have the Emperor here, which is Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aries as well. So Emperor to me is someone who's very mature. They know what they want. We have Justice and we have the High Priestess. So we have Libra, we have Pisces. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which to me is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but more Piscean. Seven of Cups to me is more Pisces energy. So I feel like you, the viewer, is either a very mature masculine person inquiring about his Empress, because we do have the Emperor and the Empress here, or you could be the Empress inquiring about your Emperor, okay, the person who matches your energy. I don't feel like you're someone who's going to settle for anything less. You're very mature, you've been through the wars, you've seen it all, you've done it all, you have a lot of experience when it comes to relationships. And I don't care if you're 21 or 18 or whatever, but there are people out there who are very young in years, but they are very old in the soul, if you know what I mean. And when I say you have experience in relationships, it could also be bringing in your you remembering past life experiences. Okay, so I feel like with that Seven of Cups and the High Priestess, there is a lot of spiritual knowledge here. Whether this is you guiding, following your own guidance through your intuition and keeping your feelings close to your chest and not speaking out about it, or whether your person is not opening up and speaking out to you about, but the universe is bringing in a time where there is going to be conversations to be had, because justice is falling right next to the High Priestess. If there has been a lot of silence in this connection, is going to change to balance out the scales, where there's going to be conversation. If there's been non-action, there's going to be action, because this king is hot. He wants to take action. He knows what he wants. And maybe with lockdown, it's kind of cramping his style. I feel like lockdown would really be a challenge for people with a lot of fire in their chart, who likes to be active, who likes to go out and do things and take charge of their life. But I feel like also one person in this connection knows how to surrender, knows how to trust the process of life. But with that spiritual connection and all of that being said, I feel it is important to tap into yourself and your higher, your crown chakra, your higher self, and tap into your vision as to what it is you desire, and then connect to and call upon the universal law of balance, because we have justice here. So I feel like if there's been non-communication and separation between you and your person, that roundabout Libra time, that is 21 September to 21 October, that there will be a change in the dynamic between the two of you. And at the moment, it does feel like for some of you, how is this ever going to happen? But there is opportunities coming in for you, actively doorways opening for you, because we do have the Two of Wands, okay, that is coming in for you in the near future to take action, to reestablish a connection. And that time, and I know it seems long, from now until October, but it's only about, where are we now? It's less than 6 months away. Okay, so it's about 6 months. Yeah, it's about 6 months now. And so it's not, if you think how fast a year goes, 6 months isn't that long, but there will be a breakthrough coming, and it is going to be beautiful because we have a power couple here. Power couples, they achieve a whole lot. They bring out the best in each other when they're together. They know how to work together. They know how to build together, create empires. Okay, these people, they don't play when it comes to encouraging each other and supporting each other in their goals and visions. And this is what I also feel, if you're single and you've decided maybe to go on a different journey and there is no communication with your person, but you are open to meet someone new potentially, I feel like you can envision this new person and what it is that you feel you need, and manifest someone who's really on your level, with whom you can achieve a lot and go the distance in your life. So thank you for watching. I loved reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Please remember to give me feedback. Light and love.